Welcome back to Saving Sunderland, guys. I'm Carl, this is the Republic of Football, and as you can see, we've got Luton Town in the quarter-final of the EFL Cup today. How Luton Town got into the EFL Cup quarter-final, I don't know. But we got the lucky draw, we got them, and hopefully we can beat them. Since the last episode, we've played a couple of games. As you may have seen in the last episode, we had two boring 0-0 draws, but one was against Chelsea, so it was a very good point. Following on from Chelsea, we went on to face Burnley. We beat Burnley 3-0, convincing win. As you can see, Defoe, Elbert and Origo Palacio all on the score sheet. The second game then was against Southampton. And you can see it was an exciting game. It was 3-2 to Southampton. We were away from home. We were actually winning this game until the 88th minute. Jermaine Defoe scored 2 goals, to put us in the lead. I was sure we were going to win. We went defensive, we sat players back, we did everything we could, and somehow Southampton scored 2 goals from distance late on. The 91st minute winner. It was an unbelievable comeback by Southampton late on and cost us 3 points. We move on, EFL Cup today and a game against Spurs, and hopefully we get 3 points on the table and make it to a semi-final of a cup competition. So heading into today's game, we're going with a very strong team. John O'Shea gets one of his first starts of the season. Other than that, it's a very strong team. Lyndon Gooch is on the right, so Gooch and O'Shea are perhaps the only weaker players in the team. Callum Moyes returned from injury, hoping to sell him in January, so if he puts in a good performance, it might get his value up a little bit. So this is how the two teams are lining up, and smaller teams in cup competitions can be dangerous. Cup competitions love an upset. We're the Premier League team. I think they're League 2, they might be even lower. They're not the strongest opposition, but they can cause problems. That's why I've tried to combat that by fielding a fairly strong team. Resting players like Palacio and Diarra, who've been important all season. We've still got Defoe up there, who's our top goal scorer this season. Elbert is one of our new signs this season, done really well. Kazri's forced his way into the first team, being fantastic for us. And with Spurs on the horizon, we're taking a gamble by putting out such a strong team in this game. If we lose this, it's been a disaster because we've players who will be very tired going to the Spurs game. It's going to make it tough to win against Spurs. So we're playing away from home, but since we're the stronger team, we've set the mentality to control. Hopefully we can control this game with the stronger team. We're still playing our usual more defensive formation of the 4-2-3-1 with the 2 defensive midfielders sitting deep, just to get the tactical familiarity up there a bit. We've beaten a lot of championship teams on the run to the quarter-final. Hopefully we can get through that. We're guaranteed a Premier League team if we do get through. In January, I'm thinking we're going to have a bit of a clear out. There's a lot of players we're just not using. Great ball in by Elbert, as I say that, and Defoe tucks it away. 8th goal of the season for Jermaine Defoe. We haven't even reached December yet. I think we might just be hitting December. He's already got 8 goals. Not bad, halfway through the season. Great finish. Lyndon Gooch been given a start today. Hopefully he can impress. Defoe, Elbert. Lyndon Gooch is one of the youngsters who's been getting a lot more playtime than, say, Duncan Watmore, but that's only because Duncan Watmore has been injured lately. He's a good prospect at Sunderland. I fully expect him to do really well in the Championship if he stays at Sunderland. Almost 60% possession to Luton. We're just letting them have a lot of the ball. We're perhaps going to change our passing style. They usually play direct. I think that's giving the ball away too much in this match. So we're going to have to try and retain possession in the second half. Hopefully get the possession up a bit. The second half kicking off. Change the passing style to play shorter, retain possession. Hopefully we can keep the ball a bit more, because the less Luton have it, the less their chance of them hitting us on the break. Once you hit the semi-finals, anything can happen in the League Cup. If you can get a game to extra time, maybe go on to penalties. We've shown we can beat some of the bigger teams already. Although we did lose to Arsenal, it was on a very narrow margin. They got very lucky that game. Our more defensive 3 at the back system could definitely help us, perhaps even get to the final. I'll say that. Marriott gets in for Luton and his shot is terrible, luckily for us. 30 minutes to go. The clock seems to be ticking by very slowly while we're only 1 ahead. Cook gets in behind, 1-on-1 with Pickford. Pickford makes the save. Luton are getting in 1-on-1, far too much. Patterson plays it in behind. Didier Ndong out wide for some reason. Drops it back to Lyndon Gooch, edge of the box. Great save by Moore for Luton to keep the deficit down. 20 minutes to go. It's going to be a rare appearance for Victor and Ichibi coming in place of Jermaine Defoe. Ichibi's fallen down the ranks of strikers since Palacio's come in, done such a good job for us. Kazri edge of the box, 10 minutes to go, hits the wall yet again. Going to have to find a better free kick taker, I think. Anything could happen. There's a minute to go. win the ball. Once we have the ball, Luton can't score. And as I say that, we just drive the ball up the field and give it back to them. And Luton come at us again. A ball's driven in low into the box. Pickford claims, minute to go. We just need to hold it up. We're a minute away from the semi-finals of the League Cup. And there's full time. Somehow we scraped through. It should have been far easier for us. We played a strong team, but a win is a win. We're into the semi-final, and now we have to focus on the league. It's Spurs next. There's no time for celebrations. Following on from that win, we're now in the draw for the semi-finals of the EFL Cup. Let's see who we're going to get in the semis. Arsenal, the home game against Sunderland. The one team I wanted to avoid in the draw was Arsenal. So the one team we were always going to get was Arsenal. What makes it worse is it's Arsenal at the Emirates. It's going to be a very tough game. But if we win that game, we'll face either Leeds or Southampton in the final. We've made it all the way to the semi-final. There's no reason we can't go any further. So up next is Spurs at Stadium of Light. But before we get into that, before we set up our team for the next game, let's have a quick look at the league table and see how we're doing. Because at the moment we're in 12th on 15 points, 4 points clear the relegation zone. A win against Spurs could see us jump into the top 10, potentially overtake Southampton or Bournemouth or both. After 13 games, we've got 15 points. And after Spurs, we've got a long run of Premier League games before we face Arsenal in the EFL Cup semi-final, which I forgot when we were doing a draw is a two-legged affair, which I'm not sure that makes it easier or harder for us because we have to beat Arsenal twice, potentially. Well, we could lose the first one and win the second. Hopefully we can keep it tight in the first. And it means the deciding leg is at the Stadium of Light, which actually makes it a bit better for us, that draw. And right after we face Arsenal for the second leg, we face them again in the league. From the middle of January, the season's going to get really tough because we've got Man City, Leicester, then we've got the second leg, the deciding leg of the EFL Cup semi-final against Arsenal, then we've got Arsenal again, and then we've got Liverpool. I'm not looking forward to that little run. But for now, we've got Spurs. After the Spurs game, I'm going to play on a little bit until we get to the Man United game, and that's what will be in the next episode, Man United and Watford games, as we head into the January transfer window. But for now, let's jump into the Spurs game. Okay, so this is how we're going to line up against Spurs. We're going with the 3 at the back system, which has done well against other big teams apart from Arsenal. They're the only team we didn't beat with this system or get a draw against, because we got a draw against Chelsea. So we're going Pickford in goal, Djilabadji, Kone and Denier at the back, Patterson, Diarra and Mittelstadt just ahead of them, Cattermole alongside Ruud Vormer, who's returning from injury, Wahbi Khazri playing in behind Palacio, which means Defoe drops to the bench for this game. Okay, we're underway at Stadium of Light against Spurs. Of course, everyone knows the strengths of Spurs. They've got the likes of Dele Alli, Harry Kane, Christian Eriksen. Son stepped up massively last year. Ball's driven forward. Rodrigo Palacio has been a good signing since he's come in. Second highest goal scorer so far. Drills that ball across to Mittelstadt. Drives it back across, and Lassana Diarra is there to make it 1-0 after just 3 minutes. Exactly what we needed, an early goal. Potentially we could shut up shop due to Mourinho Part 2 buses. You can see Spurs have gone attacking, which means we have to respond to that somehow, because otherwise they'll just bombard our goal. 10 minutes in, we're still ahead. Almost 10 minutes in. Don't count your chickens yet, I've done that before. Lamela drives it across, Pickford with the save. Mittelstadt drives that ball into the space in behind for Palacio to run onto. Sent the keeper the wrong way initially, but Lloris pulls out a wonder save. That ball driven across, Harry Kane's there. What a save by Pickford. How has that gone in? He got his hand to it and he seems to drop it onto the line. Sunway is able to come in, cause havoc, and the ball just drops in. That is a strange goal. Look at that, he saves it, it bounces. He tries to cut off Son from getting to it and seems to have hit off the ball and pushed it into his own goal. That almost looks like a glitch from the game. It's a very strange one, but you know, stuff like that does happen in football. Mistake by Pickford cost us our lead. We were playing well up to that point. Spurs haven't created too much. Hopefully we can find a second goal. We did really well to create the first one. Oh, it's a good ball in behind. Palacio beats the defence. His shot goes narrowly wide. Spurs on the counter-attack. Son, he's gotten in from that side, drills it across. Pickford actually claims his ball, picks it up, doesn't drop into his own goal so far. So the foe is coming in, as you can see on the right there, for Lee Cattermole. What we're doing is moving Palacio back to the shadow striker, moving Kazri back to the midfield, and hopefully having those more attacking players on the pitch can help us get forward and get the second goal that we need. The foe. Kazri, a great ball for the foe. What a save by Hugo Lloris. Pushes it onto the crossbar. Causing trouble just 2 minutes into the second half. The foe lose out. No, manages to keep it. Gets it across to Kazri. Diarra, who scored, puts it back into the box. Good movement. And there it is. Ruud Vormer has put us back in front after just 2 minutes. 3 minutes gone by them. 3 minutes into the second half. We're back in front. The Diarra being a bit of a playmaker there, passing it, finding the right passes, picks out Vormer, just returned from injury, gets around the defender, hits it wide in front of the defender so the keeper couldn't see it coming. Fantastic goal against a very strong Spurs side, and Spurs looking to get the counter-attack going from that set piece. Their players flooding forward. Lamela down that right wing, he's got a bit of space, drives it across. Pickford keeps it out, but Ericsson keeps it in play. Lamela drives it in, Kane with the shot, and Pickford instantly with the save. I think we got away with that one. We got a little bit lucky with that one. The worst thing we can do is just let Spurs have the ball and run us. We have to put them under pressure. We have to try to get the third goal even. Seems crazy to think that we get a third goal against Spurs, but it's a possibility at the minute. We scored 3 against Liverpool. Musa Sissoko and Wanyama are Spurs' final 2 substitutions. Surprisingly, he didn't want to bring on Vincent Janssen because, you know, the goal machine that he was last season. Oh, it's a good ball in behind. Defoe's got a bit of space, shoots from distance, and it goes just wide. And that's the thing, Spurs' goal came from our mistake. It didn't come from them playing well. Kone gives the ball away to Harry Kane. It was another mistake by our player that almost gave them the goal. We're going to start tightening up soon, shutting up shop. Final 10 minutes. On the attack, Diarra flicks it on, comes out to Denier. Back out to Djilabodji. Can he get out wide? He's run the wrong direction. That doesn't help. Entering the final 2 minutes of injury time. Spurs on the counter-attack. We just need to hold them out for a minute and a half and the victory will be ours. We'll have 3 points on the board. Sissoko drives it from distance. Thankfully it goes over. Ball driven upfield. Only to Kyle Walker though, allowing Spurs to get one final counter-attack it seems. Ball goes out of play. The referee has to blow the full-time whistle now. Walker takes the throw in. Diarra clears away. Kazri gets it up the field. Defoe with the ball. We're 30 minutes overtime, and there's the 30 seconds overtime, but there's the full-time whistle, and it's another huge victory for Sunderland against a big team. Add Spurs to the list of teams who've taken points off this season. Beating Leicester, City, Liverpool and Spurs, and we got a draw against Chelsea. Somehow we just managed to outdo the big teams at the minute. That win moves us up to 11th on 18 points. We're almost halfway to the 40-point mark. A win in our next Premier League game could see us on 21 points, which would potentially put us into 9th. We're chasing that 9th spot all the time, it seems. It's a very good position. We've just overtaken Bournemouth, and we've put ourselves 7 points clear of the relegation battle at the moment. So that win against Spurs has us in a strong position in the league. We're also in the semi-final of the League Cup. You gotta say, that's been a successful episode so far. Semi-final of a trophy and 11th in the league. We're nowhere near the relegation battle at the minute. Hopefully it can stay that way and we can save Sunderland from relegation. As I said before, I'm going to play on a little bit until we get to the Man United game. That's where the next episode's going to take place. But for now, guys, that's all we've got time for. I've been Carl. This has been Saving Sunderland on the Republic of Football, and we will catch you next time.